So this module to me is maybe one of the most exciting ones that you're going to do. This module is about how to be productive in a digital space, which basically means how to be quick and how to produce things that you might need for your school or business life later on. How to do that in a digital space, like on a computer. So here's the things we're going to go through. We're going to start with how to keep stuff organized on a computer. Finding stuff is easier when it's organized. If you keep your binder organized, it's easier to find stuff. If you keep your room organized, it's easier to find stuff. If you keep your computer accounts organized, it's easier to find stuff. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. We're going to learn about downloading and saving files from the internet. Like how do you take a file from the internet and make sure you can find it later. We're going to learn about saving files like from an application. Like if you're in a Word program, how do you make sure you save that so you can find it later? We're going to review a little bit on OneDrive and a little bit on Office 365. We're going to go a little deeper and talk about how to use Microsoft Word on your computer and then save a file to OneDrive from there. We're going to talk about how to pick the right font and talk about fonts in general for when you're typing things at school. We're going to talk about how to use PowerPoint online, really briefly, but it's really cool. We're going to talk about how to share a document with someone else and so you could both be typing on it and working on it at the same time from different computers from anywhere in the entire world. That's pretty fun. We're going to talk about annotating text online, which means how do you read something and kind of take notes online, or how do you take notes even on a Word document, and so you can come back and review them later. We're going to talk about how to use Canvas for how to have discussions on Canvas and how to use a discussion forum feature, and talk a little bit about how do you have discussions online with people in a professional way. Then we're going to get into what I think is really cool. We're going to talk about developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the idea some people have that I can learn anything. I can figure it out. And actually the difference between people who are successful in life and not really has nothing to do with like their intelligence, like how smart they just naturally are. It really comes down to like, does the person think they can learn anything? And people who think they can learn anything end up learning anything. And they figure it out and they do. But it doesn't matter where you start. It's just about, do you see yourself as someone who can learn anything? We're going to talk about how to use Khan Academy, which is a site that can help you with so many things in school and avoid wasting lots of time learning stuff and just learning the things that are right for you. We're going to talk about the same sort of concept with a site called Newton that's out there to help you learn how to read better in a way that teaches you things that you specifically need to know. We're going to talk about how to use vocabulary.com, which is a site that teaches you words that you need to know. A site called No Red Ink that can help you focus on grammar and how to use commas and periods and stuff like that, and teach you lessons that are just made for just you. And then we're going to talk about how do you find help online. When you're stuck, how do you figure out what to do? Like, I want to know how to make a movie. Cool. What would you do to learn how to do that? We're going to learn how to use your school email, and we're going to learn how to check your grades on Skyward. These are all the things we're going to learn in this module. I'm stoked. Let's get started. So when you submit this assignment, just tell me one thing that you think is going to be kind of cool to learn how to do when we go through this. And even if all of them sound awful, the coolest sounding one of all of them.